This world has its way of bringing me to my knees. I don't know which way will put me back on my feet. What's best for me, my destiny. I look up and I'm scared. Oh, oh, oh. I'm in over my head, my head. But I got to go, got to find my own way through. Gotta be the light in the dim with all I do. When I hit a wall, won't wave the white. If I trip and fall, you know I'll sleep when I die. The clock is ticking and you're still missing out on something. Just keep waiting. That's what they all said. Just sit back for it to end. That's not who I am. Waiting, doing nothing. You know me by now. I'm not the same as the rest. I'm no Superman. You should pick someone else since I am dangerous. I am too dangerous. You know that I am dangerous. You know very well that I am dangerous. Since I am dangerous, I am too dangerous. You know that I am dangerous. You know very well that I am dangerous. The clock is ticking, sanity slipping. My hands stained red. Just let them bleed. That's what they all said. Just sit back for it to end. That's not who I am. Waiting, doing nothing. You know me by now. I'm not the same as the rest. I'm no Superman. You should pick someone else since I am dangerous. I am too dangerous. You know that I am dangerous. You know very well that I am dangerous.
Hello everyone! Welcome to stream. How is everyone doing today? Oh my gosh, I know I'm a few minutes late. I know I said 5 exactly, but I'm a few minutes late. Gotta take a drink real quick. Yeah, I have been up since 8 a.m. Going. With so much stuff to do, and I literally got home right at like 4:55, 4:56, and I was rushing to get back home on time. Even now, I'm waiting for the game to go ahead and pull up because it was updating for some reason. I guess it wasn't updating earlier, but sure. Let me go ahead and make sure the screen is up. Oh, okay. We're just gonna be the giant game screen today. Let me mess with this for y'all. That looks like it's set up pretty good. Okay. Is my mic working? Yes. Okay, here we go. Fantastic. Now that we've got that set up, I'm gonna make sure the audio is good on this. And then we are ready to go. Let me turn this down a little bit on my end. Fantastic. Okay, got my controller. I've got my drink. Today's drink of choice is cherry Coke Zero. Voila. Let us continue our search for treasure. And possibly fighting and beating up the captain today. Come on, like... Let's hope I remember the controls, though. Okay. Let me go ahead and pull this back up. And here we go. Okay. Continue. I remember last time we were talking about how we had to grind a little bit to get stronger. Because without a shell and without like any kind of upgrades, it would be pretty hard to go after the captain or the guy with the lock, the bike lock. I'm just trying to remember the keys right now. So looking around, jump, swim, target, acquired, attack. Oh, do I only need to press it once to I was over here holding it. Oh my gosh, that's why it was so difficult. I'm like, how am I supposed to hold like 3 different keys at the same time? Okay, and then what is run? Oh, I can... Okay. Okay, I think I got this, guys. Let me fight some of these dogs real quick. There we go. Fantastic. Intense. I was not using the focus enemy feature last time that much because I thought I had to freaking hold it. And then healing was down. Okay, so we just killed that guy. Gosh. Okay, so I cannot focus 2 enemies at the same time. And I died. Okay. Okay. Really getting right into the thick of it again. Let's run that back. Okay, because I know we just beat this mini boss over here for the first time. What is this? Blue circle. You guys seeing that? Well, didn't mean to use that. Okay. How did I crab walk side to side? That was funny. Okay, yeah, I've definitely got to get used to playing again, because I was not doing this bad before. Okay, we got him. We got him. Let's see how far back I can get into this. Yeah. Okay. Ooh. Oh, why are there so many of them? What? How did he do that much damage? Okay. We had to go get my stuff back. Because some bossy crab just killed me. Oh, it's when I'm in focus mode. Makes it harder for me to control, if I'm being honest. Dang. Give me that hook. How did I do the charged attack again? Okay, I hold that. Okay. And attack. Dodge. Attack. Yep. So I've been out all day, basically driving for a good amount of it, just purely because of how far I was driving. And I swear traffic was crazy. Maybe it's just because I don't drive that much, but it really feels like traffic has gotten a lot worse in the last couple years than I've been used to before. Like, people, there's so many more cars on the road around this area, and there's so many drivers that I just feel like don't drive courteously. Like, they kind of just are looking out for what they're trying to do, not what everyone on the road is trying to do. So it's rough. Like, I try to use my turn signal, for example, every time I'm like changing lanes or, you know, turning. And a lot of times people will just like go 4 lanes over without using a single turn signal, and they're basically like perpendicular to traffic. Like, what am I supposed to do? Just dodge out of your way? Feels like you expect me to just dodge out of your way. You know, it's a bit harder to do when we're all going 70 on the freeway. Hey, crab, leave me alone, buddy. Yeah, and I've just had so many incidents with, like, people with, like, road rage recently. Like, tailgating and just yelling out of their vehicles when you're not doing 20 over like everyone else. Like, sorry, I'm not comfortable doing all that. Like, I'll stay out of everyone's way, but gosh, like, gotta give me the chance to get out of your way. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I haven't been driving, like, every day like most people do, because I work from home. But, whew, it's just crazy. It just feels crazy to me how many cars there are on the road and just how varying the skill level and courtesy of other drivers there is. Kind of wish I could, like, I don't know, you know what? I just had a thought, and honestly, it's not a great one because there was a whole Black Mirror episode related to it that it triggered a memory of watching, where, like, everyone has, like, a social score. I'm not sure if you guys have seen Black Mirror, but there's this one episode where everyone has a social score, right? And it's basically like social media, except it's with every person you meet, like, IRL ever. You get to, like, score them and your interaction with them. And so when someone, like, flips you off or says something bad or doesn't give you a decent tip in your tip jar, you can leave them a poor score, and it impacts their total score, right? And so everyone else, when you see someone, you see what their score is. So that, like, in the Black Mirror episode, basically led to a whole stigmatization of anyone who had a score under certain, like, thresholds. I should definitely heal. Were treated differently because it's like, oh, it's assumed you must be a bad person if your score is a certain thing, right? But it also led to, like, an extreme, like, application of that score, in that it impacted stuff outside of just social stigma. It was also, like, built into the system of their society, where you would have people trying to rent a car, right? For example, the main character tries to rent a car at one point, and because her score was too low, they would not rent her a vehicle. And she, like, her other car was taken in, like, to the shop, so she couldn't get anywhere. And so she's trying to, like, having to catch a ride on the side of the road because they wouldn't rent her a car because her score was so low. And the crazy thing is, even while she's standing on the side of the road trying to hitchhike, someone scored her and gave her a negative score, like a bad score, just for being, like, perceived as, I guess, someone asking for help on the side of the road. They just gave her another negative ping to her scoring, and it was just crazy, the, like, application of that to, like, social standing, but also, like, systemically, you know, that you can have the character is unable to do anything within society effectively because of their social standing. Yeah, come down here, buddy. This is where I want you. Well, not with these guys. Where'd the other one go? But that's what I was thinking about. I was like, oh, it would be an interesting thing if, like, we could, like, score other drivers, or, like, kind of leave commentary, like, oh, like, they did something bad. Like, maybe not, like a legal follow through, because it's like, we're not the police, but just kind of be like, hey, like, you did something poorly while driving, keep this in mind next time. But then I was thinking about that Black Mirror episode and the application of it, and it's just crazy because I don't think something like that could ever be implemented, because you could have someone who's just having a bad day, just giving out bad scores, or someone gives you a bad score because, say, for example, if they're road raging because they're like speeding and they're doing bad things, right? They could give you a bad score for being quote unquote too slow, even if that's the correct thing to be doing in that situation. Because it's all on perception, right? And then what if that's like is applied outside of like the social stigma of like, oh, this person was just doing like a bad driving habit. It's like becomes, oh, okay, oh, your score's too low, you can't have a license. Oh, your score's too low, you can't own a vehicle. You know? So I don't think that would be a great idea, because the implications of like the how that system could be abused. That's definitely a bit outside of the. Oh, I am so dying. I have the one health. Oh no. Ow. Ow. He's literally like sweeping the floor with me. I don't know. I'm late, but I'm here now. Welcome in. Nice. Glad you are here. You have a thingamabob. It's used to brush your hair. Ah, yes, the comb. Mm-hmm. Oh, no, 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 no. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. Yeah, I was just talking about, like, bad drivers and, like, dying, apparently. Like, if there was some kind of system to maybe give feedback to other drivers in some way that's not, like, hey, because we're not the police, right? So, like, we can't just be like, oh, I'll write you a ticket because you did something illegal. But, like, yeah, something. But, like, I was also thinking about the Black Mirror episode where they had the social scoring system in place where, like, you just score people on your day-to-day interactions with them. And the implications of that episode were pretty, like, astonishing, because people could just score you for, like, from their own perspective on things, not even, like, the reality of a situation or the nuances of a situation. So, like, for example, the main character in that episode, she is having, honestly, the worst day of her life, and so everybody around her is perceiving her struggle and her, like, inability to, like, accomplish what she's trying to do as, like, a negative influence on the environment around them. So they're like, oh, you have, like, bad vibes, basically. And so everyone just in passing is giving her more bad scores. So I was saying, in effect, like, if we did that, something similar with, like, a driving system, that could also be abused, because the perspective of someone who's, like, road raging, yeah, say I'm driving and someone's road raging and, like, tailgating me and, like, flipping me off and, like, yelling out their window. Yeah, obviously, legally, they're in the wrong. But from their perspective, I'm going too slow. I'm impeding them from getting where they're trying to go. Which would cause, like, further issues, I would think. Because situationally, like, you could just be having a bad day and then you just get completely screwed over. If there are other implications with, well, hey, stop ganging up on me. Stop it. Bad fish. Let me eat. It's okay, I died. Are you finding tons of fish? Look to the rating system, because people see others with already bad ratings. Yeah, your rating is based off of other people's emotions. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is, like, if there's no nuance, at least in the Black Mirror episode, there was no nuance to it. So she was having a bad day. She was struggling. She was having some emotional, like, outbursts, which, given the context of the audience, we knew what she had been through already, so we understood. It was more understanding. But every person nearby her that was like, for example, she was trying to get somewhere for like to attend a wedding. She needed to get on a flight because her score had dropped from another incident or something already. She could not qualify to get on the flight anymore. And because she was trying to explain the situation and just asking if they can make an exception, everyone in line behind her then gave her a negative score because they were like either put off by her emotions of just having like a negative emotion in public, and then her I guess like taking up the time of the attendant more so than what they perceived that she needed to be. So yeah, you would very much be at the whims and emotions of those around you, and that's honestly terrifying. Which I guess is kind of the point of the Black Mirror episode, is like not to like spoil too much for if I also, if you haven't seen Black Mirror, I highly recommend it. It's just every episode is its own unique situation. It's not like a series where every episode's related to each other. Each one is its own unique individual situation. But they're all really interesting applications of like potentially horrifying situations. And that one was like we're talking about, like the emotional whims of others and like social media in a essence having a negative impact on like identity. Because she was also prided herself on being like a 4.5 like her whole life or something, right? Because it's out of 5 total scores. So she was like, oh, I just want to be like so good. I want to be like the very best. I want to get the best scores. I want to, because all the like, essentially the higher your social score, the more opportunities you had in life because you had a high social score. And so just the implications of like other people being at the whims of other people perception of you, not necessarily who you are. I am fighting a ton of fish. I am also dying to a ton of fish. I gotta go pick up my body though, because I lost all my street cred. They have Loki helms? The crabs? Oh, no, you're talking about the dog, like the fish that sound like dying puppies when you kill them. Yep, I see it. With the, like, horns. Yeah, here, I don't... Yeah, the fish. Yeah, let me see if I can get one of the fish by themselves. Because if you hear, I swear, it sounds so heart-wrenching. Like, when you kill one of the fish. Like, they... Okay, you know what? Yeah, it sounds like you just, like, kicked a puppy. No, it's the, like the small squeaky, like, noise. I don't know what that sounds like. What are you talking about? It's what I think it sounds like. Okay, you know what? I keep... Dead. There you go. It's a whimper, yep. Yeah. See, that's a word to describe it. Not just dying puppies. You know, I think it's the DM side of me trying to use more words than necessary to describe something. There we go. Got him. Oh, he dropped a bean. Thank you. Heart kelp pod. Another crab treasure. Okay, so essentially what happened in the first green beans. What happened in the first episode, or the first stream rather, is my crab was just chilling, hanging out on a little like tide pool, living his best life. And then a loan shark rolled up and said, "Hey, there's a new owner to this property. You got to pay taxes. You got to pay your taxes." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. I'll get you some money. You take heart kelp pods." And they're like, "Just go get your money so we can pay up." And so he went and got him some beans, some green beans, and he showed up. He's like, "Hey, loan shark, I got you some heart kelp pods." He's like, "What? That's not the currency of these waters. We use trash now. You got to pay with trash." And he's like, "I don't have any trash." He's like, "Well, too bad. I'm gonna take your shell." That's why my crab is naked. He got his shell, his home. He got evicted from his home, because he couldn't pay his taxes. And he basically was told he's not gonna get his shell back until he talks to the countess, who is the quote unquote new landowner, and about like getting the taxes resolved. And so right now I'm kind of grinding a little bit because to get inside there's a whole like side quest. Ow, my face! Holy fuck, that hurt. Oh, dude, you made me drop my bean. Not the bean. Freaking shit. Okay. I thought being human was hard enough with taxes. Now fish have to pay taxes too. A pole arm crab? Ah, okay. Yeah, no, so I know where the countess is. She's up in that castle, supposedly. But it's currently being guarded by some other crustacean guards who told me I can't go in being naked. I have to put some clothes on. And they're not going to let me in until I get some clothes. So I have to find a shell. And I'm having trouble with that because the only shell I've been able to find in this starting area, essentially, is being basically held hostage by a overzealous captain of the guard who basically wanted to kill me for breaking the law of taking the shell, I guess, without asking? I don't know. It wasn't very clear if he was 100% in his right mind as to what was happening. He just kind of decided he was going to kill me. And that's the only place I've been able to find a shell. I've pretty much looked everywhere else. So right now I'm kind of grinding to be able to power up so I can go back and fight the captain and hopefully get into the castle. That's why I'm fighting all these like little guys over here. Because also, if you see on the bottom right, I have the little, what they refer to as microplastics that I'm collecting, which is part of like their currencies. As I beat up enemies, I collect more microplastics. Yeah. Oh, smack. Ah, fuck. Which I was doing fairly well towards the end of last stream. I'm just kind of getting back into the swing of things, as some might say. Because I'm grinding this mini boss area over here because he gives me a lot of microplastics when I actually beat him. Only thing is I keep dying to the minions. Because I keep getting ganged up on by like 6 guys at the same time. There we go. Yeah, it's so fun. Yay. Yeah, because here, let me show you. So, this is a save point where it lets me upgrade. I need 890 microplastic pieces to upgrade further. I mean, I guess when I fought the captain the first time, I had 0 upgrades. So now I have 2 in each stat except for MSG. So I've got 2 vitality, 2 resistance, 2 attack, and then no MSG. Because it says it's specifically for damage of umami-based attacks. I don't think I have that, so I didn't think I needed to upgrade that at all. Because my fork doesn't have MSG. Okay, well, look at me just using the wrong freaking... Where is it? There we go. Yeah, also, I can get other upgrades from other things, but I can't use certain ones, like these stowaways. I can only activate their abilities when I have a shell. So, I have a couple, like this gives me more MSG, but I don't think I have... MSG damage yet. Also, this is the map. I'm still in the first area. Let me see if the guides have anything. Press LB to hide inside your shell. Wearing a shell reduces damage taken. Hiding in it will divert all damage to the shell health. Heart kelp. It helps you feel restored. Focus an enemy. Moon snail shells are our respawn points. Tap B right as an enemy attacks to dodge out of the way. Timing takes practice. Microplastics leveling up. Okay, yeah, that's all I have so far in the game. Let me actually, it might be good to... Well, I already used a heart kelp. Let me go ahead and... Oh, Maeve says hi. Okay. Hi, Maeve. How'd you doing? I'm just fighting fish. What? Hello? I'm behind you. Gosh dang it. My timing with these guys was so perfect last stream, and now I'm definitely out of it. Give me the heart kelp. Thank you. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go back to the captain and see if I can do any better. Actually, you know what? There was one guy who was back this way who may be a better test of if I'm ready to go fight the captain. Oh, thank you! Yeah! I'm just a cute little human, of course. You know, I just happen to have horns. Don't ask about them. It's a sensitive topic. Oh, is someone... Ah! Fucking stupid sea dog. You just ate half my health. Yeah, go for it. I'm definitely telling the truth. 100%. Where was... I need to look at my map. To my left. This way. Oh, yeah. DM abuse. What? Okay, so this guy was a nuisance last time. Oh. Not him. The guy behind him. Also, I'm gonna heal real quick because there's another heart kill pod right here. Give me the bean! There we go. So this is a boss fight. He's got one of those U-locks, bike locks, that he tries to crush you with. So let's see how well I fare. Come on, buddy. I have to get close to him to attack him, though. Oh my gosh, he's terrifying. Ooh, he had locked in on me. Two, three, dodge, 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 keep dodging, run away! Heal. Run. Maybe I can just bait him around this rock. Come on, use your attack. Oh! Ah! Ah! What the fuck did he just do to me? I'm terrified. He frightened me. Okay, come on. Come on, buddy. Fuck, I fell off the backside of the rock. I'm gonna pick up this other kelp while I'm over here. Oh, fuck. Ah! And see, it's terrifying because I'm running around naked trying to not get crushed to death by a freaking U-lock. Come on, buddy. No, 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 I was kidding! Leave me alone! Let me heal, let me heal, let me heal. Okay, I think that attack actually is better. Because I can do a drive-by, run a hit, spin. Okay, yeah, I think that's the strat. Fuck, 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 fuck. I did not gauge that one right. See, I'm over here like dying. This guy's only at fucking 90% health. Yeah, I feel like I'm barely touching him. I was told it's a lot of poke and run, poke and run. Maybe I'm just used to like button mashing and hitting them with like combo attacks that are more effective. This music is pretty good though, if I can survive long enough to beat him. Come down here! Punk, this is my strat. You can't use my strat against me. Fuck. Nope, not working, not working. There we go. Yeah. I don't know if it's worth just like continuing to grind to rip, honestly. to up my attack more, so I don't have to poke and run as much. Or maybe I can find a way to cheese it. That's the problem. I don't know how to cheese his fight because no matter what, I have to get close to him. And he's pretty much always on me once I aggro him. Versus the mini boss over with the comb. He will stop fighting me if I don't interact with him for a few seconds. And he'll go and turn his back, which lets me attack him more. See, the AI for this guy is a little bit better. He actually dodges. The smaller crabs will let me kill them really easy. Let me get another bean. Whee! Yeah, I think I'm gonna go grind the mini boss over here. I gotta clear out these fish though. Yeah, the whimper is the part that hurts about having to fight these guys so much. A little gargle. Here we go, here we go. Oof. And then, yep, there's a hidden crab over here. Nice. Yeah, have you guys ever watched Black Mirror before? I know it's on Netflix, so if you don't have Netflix, then it would make sense why you might not have heard of it or seen it. Oh, okay, so he's never watched it, but you've watched it? Honestly, I highly recommend it. I will say some episodes are more entertaining than others. Since they are each their own individual unique thing. Watched like 2 episodes but wasn't into it. We've been watching some. Love, Death, and Robots. Yes, okay, so I haven't actually watched that. I've been hearing it's similar in the sense like each episode's kind of its own thing, right? And that it's really good. Or did I mishear that? Oh, okay. See, now I heard that before that it was really good. I just hadn't really... Bruh. One hit! Bruh, he killed me in one hit. Oh, okay, that's the word for it. Anthology series. Okay. I was like, I know there's got to be a word for it, but I couldn't think of it. Anthology series like Black Mirror, each episode is its own thing. Yep, okay. I'm gonna check it out then, because I watch a lot of TV shows. And I'm always looking for new ones to check out. So now having multiple good recommendations for it, I'm definitely gonna add that to my watch list. One Punch Man? Do you guys like that? I know of it. I know a little bit of the lore for it, but I haven't actually watched it. I do watch quite a bit of anime too. When I said TV series, I include like anime because it's usually episodic. So. Oop. Oop. Okay. Okay. Chill, crab. Chill. Bro, trying to like murder me. It's definitely not a bingeable series though. It's one of those series you gotta watch one or two and let it sink in till the next day. Oh, for One Punch Man or for Love, Death, and Robots? Oh, the robot one. Okay, yep. Yeah, I would say even with Black Mirror, it's the same way. You could binge it, which to be fair, I do, when they come out. But that's just because I really like the idea of like the applications of technology and like how they kind of toy with like social, what's considered socially acceptable and how in different realities, like something we would find totally weird could be like the norm. That kind of stuff is really interesting to me. Yeah, that's why I think Black Mirror does a really good job with like how they kind of mix almost like I think the tone they're going for most episodes is like kind of horror, like an existential dread, like vibe of they really just want to get under your skin. And I'm kind of about that. Like I genuinely like considering like the what if situations of if we had different expectations socially or like our reality was different in some manner. And that's what Black Mirror does really well. I feel like the crazy part of Black Mirror is how I can see it happening. Yes, and that's the thing. Part of the reason it works so well is they incorporate it in ways that makes it feel so real. That like it's just like one slightly different thing. Like the episode specifically with like there was one where someone's partner passed away and she essentially, which also spoiler warning for people who want to watch the show, maybe stop listening for a few minutes, but in this one episode her partner passed away. Oh, see, there's multiple. See, I was thinking of a different one. That's another one. I was thinking about the one where they basically had like technology to use AI. So she uploaded her chat history with her partner so that the AI could replicate his texting style. And after basically texting with the AI like night in, day out, she got to the point where she just wanted more. It just didn't feel real enough for her. So she had another company approach her where they basically took that whole like fake identity, like recreation of this real life person's identity and put it into a physical replication like of him. And because of the quote-unquote technological advances in the episode, it was essentially like a robot, but they had the feeling and skin sensation of being like a real person. So she basically had her dead partner walking around her house who she could talk to because they acted like and talked like and looked like her partner. And I'm like, see, that's not too far off of like, especially the like AI pretending to be someone with enough like data, with enough data, you could definitely get AI to have similar, at least currently, similar patterns and stylistic like responses to you to make it sound like someone else. And so the extra step that they took where it's like, oh my gosh, that's so close to reality, is they added the extra like, oh yeah, a company that literally makes you a fake, like, but feels like, looks like, and sounds like dead person who you can just have in your life again. Right? That's definitely part of the like Black Mirror quote unquote charm, is they add just enough realism where it feels like in a certain alternate reality this could happen. And then also, the one with the chips, the implants, that was a good one too. Because the partner, I think, there's a couple different instances where they kind of toy with the idea of like a soul or like a virtual replication of someone. But I think you're talking about the one where I think she dies and then they end up putting her in a teddy bear, right? Because originally she was put into the boyfriend, right? Or the husband. And so she lived inside his brain. And then it became complicated when he had another partner, but she was having her jealousy and stuff all in his head at the same time. He's trying to enjoy living with his new partner because he's continuing on with his life. Yeah. Yeah, that one was honestly, it's kind of scary because you see companies like Tesla, who just had their implant, their like brain chip thing put into someone. Actually, I think it just came out that they had to take it back out. The Neuralink, where they're already trying stuff like that. Like they're attempting these supposedly far-fetched like technological advancements, right? So it's kind of crazy because it feels, a part of the unsettling factor of Black Mirror is it feels like it could happen, like it could be real. I'm just gonna keep dying in this corner as we talk about Black Mirror. Okay, I thought that I had heard a news story, like a radio story, where they were talking about how it had to be taken out for some reason. Oh gosh, it was really in passing, so I didn't like fully listen to this. Like I was actively seeking out the story, but it sounded like they had to take it out, and like because he was using it to play video games or something, and so because he was the person who had it implanted was quadriplegic, so they weren't able to use their arms or legs or anything. It's still going. Okay. Oh, okay. Maybe it was just like someone talking about if they had to take it out. Like I said, I wasn't like fully listening to the story. It was kind of just in passing. I overheard it. Interesting. Okay, yeah, but see, that's what we're saying is like Neuralink. That's basically kind of like what they were talking about with like chips in people's heads, like with different applications. What's the extent of like one of my favorite episodes is San Junipero, where you basically have like the cloud is like a database that's being upkept in like this huge like warehouse or whatever. But like when you die, you basically upload your consciousness to the cloud and you can live there like after your physical body dies. And it's I think that's one of the more heartwarming episodes Because something like that seems like almost, because they spun it in a positive way, right? Where the two people got to like continue living together even after they had died because they were uploaded to the cloud, basically. But like, I don't know personally. I don't know if I would want to be uploaded, because there's like the whole like what is a soul like debate, right? And like, would you basically be trapping yourself to not being able to like pass on in some sense if you believe in that, right? Oh my gosh, leave me alone, crab! No, my microplastics. I remember hearing something about there's a company that's attempting that. What, like saving someone's consciousness, like their quote unquote soul to the cloud? Really? Someone's attempting that? That I feel like was. How do you. I guess, like, if we're getting down to the science of this, not talking about, like, the spiritual aspect of, like, what is a soul. Like, people will say that your brain is just a combination of neurons firing in certain manners and certain pathways that reproduce, like, our physical and lived experiences, right? That's, like, memories, like, perception, like, yada yada. That's what the brain is. So they're essentially able to equate that to like a computer. Theoretically, a computer complex enough could replicate what a person is, and that's the whole idea of like extremely complex AI, right? Is essentially something that's programmed and complex enough and to like be a person, right? So expanding upon that, then you could continue down that train of thought and be like, okay, if we can replicate what the experience of a person is to that extent, then couldn't we then save a copy of what a person is? Like instead of creating a new original person, like someone who's already alive and living, right? Just save a copy of them somewhere? And that's the crazy part to me, because what are the implications of that, right? If there's a copy of you on the internet, what does that mean? Like, someone could, like, make a chat bot where you're essentially the person they're chatting to, but it's not really you, it's just the copy of you? Or, like could they pull the metaphorical virtual plug on you because you didn't pay your monthly subscription to the cloud afterlife? Like something like that, where it's like you have to continue having money or finances into a quote unquote virtual afterlife, or keep producing like work for somebody in this virtual sphere or cloud version of you to like pay for their maintenance of like their servers or database. Like that's where I'm like, what are the implications of something like this? That, like, going beyond that, that's kind of crazy to think about. Like, beyond the, like, is this possible? Okay, great, cool, maybe it is possible, maybe it's not. What are the implications of it? And, like, how would we have protections for something like that? Like, how could this be expanded? Let's talk about AI. Voiceovers, honestly, okay. Yeah, learns to talk in your minute. That's one of the things, honestly, that is the most terrifying as someone who streams, right? Like, anyone who has any kind of digital footprint, if it, like, it's already kind of out there at this point, but to what extent it's publicly, like, available or accessible is kind of I'm not 100% sure on. But the technology is already here with that kind of stuff, right? So you have any kind of digital footprint, whether it be like through photos or audio, you'll have something that's data, right? That's data that can be mined. That's data that can be used for AI. That's data that is of your personal, of your person, that could go towards creating fake images of you, fake audio of you. And like, I feel like there's a lot of negative implications where companies and governments are falling behind with these kind of technologies, and one, like, legislating to like protect us from their abuse, but also like to ensure that they're not being targeted by this too. Because say, like, a lot of the fail safes, when people were like, okay, you if someone like gets access to your banking information, right? They're like, don't, if someone calls you about the situation, don't ever give them like your password or any of this information over the phone. Call the listed number on your bank's website or wherever, right? Okay, great. But say someone has your voice. Someone has an AI that's able to replicate your likeness over the phone. They know you have a bank account at such and such place. They can call such and such bank pretending to be you, and with enough information, completely just steal your identity, get access to your bank. Right? So, like, there's certain things people try to do with like two-factor authentication and different ways of doing things, but with enough like technology, you can spoof cell phone numbers, you can intercept cell phone calls, you can fake someone's voice now with different AI applications. So it's kind of a scary thing to consider. Someone could just steal your identity, right? And that's just talking about like the practical applications of scamming, right? So someone's stealing your money, stealing your identity, opening credit cards, kind of thing. What about socially, right? Like someone who's out to get you, like, or you have a bad past relationship with someone, they just create fake images of you and spread them around on the internet. They create fake conversations with you and try to use that as evidence in some kind of legal proceeding or something, right? Like, there are so many applications for someone who has nefarious intent or is trying to abuse these technologies that it's kind of wild to think about that this is just out in the public, and like there's very little in the way of protections in place currently. And the media literacy is not something that's being talked about, like, to great extent too, of being able to identify, like, and being able to not trust like everything at face value at this point, because it's like, okay, do I know this person who's calling me and has my mom's name and my mom's voice and is calling from her quote-unquote phone number is actually my mom who I'm talking to? Oh, at least I got my stuff back. Oh my gosh, I'm still alive. I thought I died. Hey, crab boy, come here. We're going for an adventure. You gotta come this way. Come on. Let's go. Oh, nope, don't hit me. Yeah, because at some point it's gonna, like, a lot of it's gonna come down to, like, luck of the draw for some people. Because it's gonna get so good at, like, scammers and nefarious persons will have so much at their disposal in terms of trying to do whatever they're trying to do, that I don't even know what, like, how we would go about, like, preventing it. It's just gonna happen. Like, scammers get scammed. Because it's like, yeah, you're the one that they called. You're the one they decided to target. Now, how do we help people who've been targeted? How do we preferably stop that from happening in the first place? But at this point, it's so widespread, and like out there for the public that, like, I'm not sure it can be, it's like, there's too much. So you're not even sure if it can be taken back, quote unquote, at this point. Because there's always going to be, like, people who have copies of things saved offline, right? Like, saw a message bug. Oh, yeah, this is just an NPC who's chilling. I already completed their task, but let's see if they have anything else for me. Stay resolute, lad. These vandals have numbers, but you have the skill and resolve of a country boy. Well, thanks, buddy. Yeah, he had a few, like, wild, like, fish swarming, or crab swarming him, so I took them out, like, last stream. Also, it sounded like I got another follow? Is that what happened? If I missed that, thank you, whoever just followed. Let me see. If I didn't, then maybe I'm just hearing things. But also, if you're not following, go ahead and feel free to give me a follow if you want to keep up with future stream notifications. Preferably Twitch will let you know, but if Twitch doesn't, you can always also join our Discord, where I will always ping the server and let everyone know when I'm going live. Here we go. Okay. So let me go poke this guy and try to get some more, because he gives me 800 when I... Oh gosh, dang it. I thought I dodged that. I feel like I have to go get more. Leave me alone, leave me alone, leave me alone, leave me alone. I don't have the health to get hit by you. I've got to go get a kelp pod. Here we go. There's one up here. Oh! No! Fucking... He came out of nowhere! Bro. Negatory Crunch, welcome in. Yes, hi Maeve. Okay, you're signed in now. Welcome, welcome. I've got to go find where my body was. Or I'm gonna lose all my monies. Oh, stupid little fish. Dang, and it reset the... Dang, there's too many crabs around here. I don't like it. Hey, buddy, old pal, please leave me alone. Yeah, so, like, I don't know if it's something that at this point we could even take back, so to say, because this kind of stuff is already open and accessible, but... It's definitely something, like, we need to be talking about, because this is something that's gonna hurt a lot of people if it's not handled. And we're just gonna have a lot of victims, and especially, like, people think it's bad now with elderly people being targeted and, their assets being stolen and their identities being stolen and such. Imagine with all the applications of AI, like we're talking about. How much more prolific is it going to be of an issue? Let me see if I can womp a few more of these, so I can get the 860 I need. Yeah, because I will say, sometimes even without these tools, right, they can be pretty convincing. Like, I've had my fair share of run-ins with scammers where, like, you think you know all the tricks and everything, and they just find a new way. And it's really frustrating too, because, like, for example, one of the ways I've run into a scammer before is when I was purchasing a vehicle. I was looking for used, and I had a very limited budget at the time, and part of that left me susceptible to running into a number of scammers who were using that kind of demographic as a target, because it's usually a need, right? So, like, in a very heavily car dependent society where there's not much access for public transportation, it's something that you need to basically live, to do your day to day, right? To have a vehicle. And so, especially when you're looking on a tighter budget, it's kind of like, quote unquote, like an easy target, because you think you're getting a good deal when really it's someone's trying to scam you, right? So one of the situations I ran into is, yeah, some of them were very obvious from the get-go, where it's like, okay, this is obviously a scammer, I'm not moving forward with this at all. But I got to the point where I was what I thought I was talking to was a real person who had a bad situation happen, and they no longer needed this vehicle, and they were looking to get rid of it. Actually, why am I even, like, keeping the details? Honestly, I'm trying to be considerate, and I'm literally talking about someone who tried to scam me out of money. So literally, this person pretended that they were in a bad situation where it was their son's car that they were trying to get rid of, and their son had unfortunately, like, passed away from cancer. So, right, they're using that emotional manipulation of, like, a sap story of, like, oh yeah, this really sad thing happened, you would be helping me out because every time I look at it, I'm reminded of my dead son, and that's why I'm trying to find someone who could really use it, and I'm selling it for such a low cost because it's honestly wasted away sitting there doing nothing because I can't use it myself, because again, it reminds me of my dead son. And so they're using this really emotionally manipulative story to sell this car, right? And so I'm like, okay, like, I understand, like, can I see pictures of the vehicle? Can we, like, talk about this further? How would we go about doing this? Getting details, everything you need to do to, like, buy a car. And I get through basically, like, everything to the point where I've seen pictures of the vehicle. It's as far as I can tell, it's a real vehicle. It's it seems like it's on the up and up until the moment where we've gone through all of this discussion. It's been like over a week now that I've been messaging with this person, right? So come to find out, I wasted a week of my life messaging this person for no reason because they were a scammer. But come to find out, I found this out because when it got to the point where it was like, okay, great, I'll come get the car, and how are we going to do payment? Because, it's a bit precarious to walk around with, like, thousands and thousands of dollars of cash. How are we going to do this? And they're like, oh, it's rather easy, so I have the car listed on a site, so the sale's through this site, right? And I'm like, okay, this is the first indication after a week of talking to this person where, like, I'm like, oh, this is like, I've thought, like, maybe this is a little weird, but I tried to cross my T's, dot my I's. First indication where I'm like, okay, wait, I know about don't click precarious links, that, like, the whole email training thing, like, you don't ever click anything, you don't know what it is, right? So I'm like, okay, what's this link? What's the site? And I get a link from them, and I check it out, I look it up online, and it looks to be some kind of car listing site. From everything I can find, it seems legitimate, but it doesn't have a lot of information online. So I'm like a bit worried, but I'm like, okay, let me see. So I go and I look at it, and the first way after, like, it says, oh, you're interested in this is how you go about paying for this. It said, and I kid you not, the payment would be via Amazon gift cards for thousands of dollars to pay for a car. Nope, okay, it's a scam. I'm not paying you in Amazon gift cards. Yeah. Like, and like I said, the really messed up part is I spent a week talking to this person, and they gave me this really sad story about how this car was their dead son's car. And they seemed legitimate. And it wasn't until they asked me to pay for it with Amazon gift cards that I was like, okay, yep, there you go. That's where it is. That's the scam. I found it. I was so upset and frustrated because, again, like, it's one of those things. It's a need. I needed a vehicle. I needed a way to get around. I didn't have a great budget to work with, so I was very limited in my options. And so it was very much an abuse of the situation and a complete waste of my time. And I could have been pursuing other options instead of this, but no, I ended up wasting a week it wasn't completely a time crunch, but you know, when you're in, like, when you don't have a vehicle in that kind of situation, the longer you go without, it begins to kind of stack up. Like, so the longer I didn't have a vehicle, the more stressful it was. And I wasted an entire week on a scammer. Yeah. And I was so, like, oh my gosh, I remember the moment so vividly because I was so pissed off. I was in the middle of class, and I was at the point where I wasn't even paying attention to what was happening in my courses because I was trying to get my transportation secured. And so I was kind of half paying attention to what was happening, half looking at my phone as I'm communicating and, like, looking at this stuff in my laptop. And then they're like, okay, yeah, pay with Amazon gift cards. And I was like, so, like, almost blinded with rage with how upset I was at that moment to realize that I had wasted so much time on this situation. That I don't even remember what class I was in or what I was attempting to learn that day. I just remember how mad I was sitting in that classroom while my teacher continued to lecture and feeling completely duped and feeling completely, like, blindsided. Like, at this point, it wasn't entirely blindsided, to be fair. I did have my concerns after, like, a certain point, especially with the, like, listing on a website and such, but, you know, I didn't have a lot of experience in car purchasing, so I was like, maybe this is just how this goes sometimes. And then you have that moment where it's like, great, cool, yep, scammer. And honestly, this is kind of funny, but the really ironic part to the whole situation with me trying to get a car, right, was I did eventually get a very well cared for, while heavily, like, high mileage vehicle for extremely cheap, dirt cheap, from someone who did have a rather sad situation revolving the car. And it's not as dramatic as it was my dead son who died of cancer's car, but it was still, like, quote unquote, some might view it as like a sad sap story that could be seen as an emotional manipulation if it had turned out to not be legitimate, right? But the car I did end up getting was from someone who did have a bad series of events take place. Like, they just had a bad history with the car ended up getting in a minor accident, but due to the mental trauma of the situation, the person could not drive the vehicle any longer, and so they wanted to get rid of it. And weirdly enough, it was a legitimate situation, and I did end up purchasing a car from them. they didn't ask me for Amazon gift cards to pay for it, and that's part of the reason why after that situation having happened, I moved forward with it. But yeah, it's ironic because I went from a situation with the scammer that honestly, like, basically followed like the exact same course of events that I took with the legitimate car I ended up purchasing. But that's something that's insane to think about. Like, I'm just dying to fish now. That it's so similar. And the only difference really to what ended up happening was I met them in person, which can be seen as questionable and precarious in its own right. But nonetheless, I ended up meeting meeting in person to inspect the vehicle and everything, and it wasn't done online. So the scammer was relying on the inability to have access to the car until after it was purchased, because the whole thing was it was being held by this like third party who the site was through. It was their whole shtick. But it's ironic because it basically was a very similar, like, hey, like, getting rid of a car for a not great, like, reason. It's extremely cheap. It's not in the best condition, so it justifies the price in some regards, but I'll sell anything online, just need to find a buyer that won't look into it. Yep. Yep, and that's kind of the thing is you have to have these nuances to figuring out if a situation is legit, right? So for me, it was the first thing that tipped me off was like the website being potentially precarious, right? But I did research into it. It seemed like it was legitimate based off of what I could find. And then it was the method in which they wanted to go about the transaction, which I was like, okay, yeah, now I know this is a scammer. But ironically, I had someone do with the car I did end up getting, had a very similar series of, yes, here's a story, here's why I'm selling it so cheap, yada yada. But it ended up being legitimate. And I ended up getting a car for $800. Yeah, it was great. And honestly, it would still run to this day, but I ended up selling it to someone else who I'm still familiar with, so I know like how it's going. I had it for like 4 years. Worked fine for 4 years. I had a few like minor upkeep things like tail light going out, but given its age and everything, like it could be a lot worse than that, right? So for how cheap I got it, I don't remember. I know it was older. I don't remember what year. It was a Dodge Caliber. I got for $800. And it had almost, I want to say like 250,000 miles on it. Something close to that. But yeah, it was well maintained. The person's dad, actually, who I bought it from, was a mechanic. So they kept up with maintenance. They kept up with everything really well. On like only having to replace like a tail light and then obviously usual maintenance. And then I think like a brake pad within the first year of having it. And then no other major like issues for the like 4 years I had it. Yeah. And I definitely put my fair share of miles on it too. So it's just interesting to me to think how something like that, where it's like it seems so unreal, like you could kind of run into a situation like that, ended up being real, right? And so it's having that kind of sorry, I'm just trying to make sure I don't lose all my microplastics by dying right in front of it. So having that media literacy was what I was getting back to, was of being able to determine when someone's taking advantage of the situation or it's fake, right? And then even more so with AI, this is something that I think is going to get even more drastically like difficult to identify, and the issue is going to get even more exacerbated with the implications and applications of AI in this kind of situation, right? Fucking died again. I'm slowly accumulating more wealth. I will upgrade at some point. Yeah, and that's the thing that's kind of terrifying, is like part of it comes down to luck, because I would say running into that situation where I got that car, how, like, with those conditions, definitely, like, I was spending a lot of time and energies and efforts trying to find legitimate sources and such. So there was a lot of hard work behind it, but also it's just luck, right? And like, just as easily I could have been taken advantage of by the situation with someone who was trying to scam me, right? And I spent a whole week basically doing that, and they almost got me. I was up to the point where I was like ready to purchase the car, and I was asking about a method of payment. And if I hadn't have known about the precarious nature of paying someone in Amazon gift cards, for example, I would have very easily lost basically my only way to get a means of transportation at that time, which was the little bit of savings I had. And I'm just, I guess it goes back to like that concern of like how AI is going to harm so many people, and like what do we do about that? Like, how do we help people from getting taken advantage of by that? And then how do we help those who have already become victims of that, right? And like, I think definitely talking about it is a good starting point. So the more people who know about the implications of how these kind of things can be used, but also how to identify them for themselves, like potential scams and potential issues with like AI generated images, right? And then like, how do we identify and protect ourselves from AI generated voice, right? Like, there's been a lot of discussion about AI generated images, right? There's like these things you can do, right? Like, you can see like, oh, they kind of struggle with hands right now, but okay, technology advances. What happens after that point where we don't have these like key indicators anymore? Okay, so I know I've heard and I've seen the issue with hands. They kind of like meld fingers together and things look weird. A lot of times it can come down to looking at things in the background too, where it's like just like what you think would be common sense of like, oh, windows or like different features in the background like blending together in like almost nonsensical ways. Like, a real artist would not do that, or like in a real life image, like a photograph, you wouldn't see blended windows like that. Damn, he killed me. So those are things currently with current technology. Okay, yeah, we can still identify that, but what happens? Technology keeps improving every day, right? So what happens then? How are we going to identify these things? How are we going to protect ourselves? How are we going to protect others, right? Because there's always that like, oh yeah, I'm smart enough to see like this isn't real. I know I have the tools and know how to avoid getting scammed. Okay, but what about your friends, your family? right? That's the concern too, is like your people who you may... Wow, these guys are really just timing and ganging up on me. Leave me alone. Bad fish. So I think that it really needs to be discussed more, like have that media literacy, have that AI literacy in a sense, so that we can identify these things, share that, spread that, everyone's aware of how we identify these things to protect themselves, right? But also like having that kind of fail-safe, that like backup, someone who's been targeted by AI, like maybe we need a way to, or a resource or something to like help out in those situations. And that's the thing where I'm like, I don't know, maybe someone's already come up with this and I'm just not aware of it. It's definitely something I'm concerned about, and I'd love to know more. So I'm getting followed by so many fish right now. Let me kill some of them so at least I can maybe survive. I don't know. These are the kind of things I think about. Like, sometimes I feel like I think too much on things, but then other times it's just like, I can't stop my brain from just continuing to run like 1,000 miles per hour. Like, yeah, maybe not everyone's concerned about AI or robots taking over the world, but that's something that, like, not necessarily keeps me awake at night, but definitely during my waking hours, my brain's a pondering. And then you see freaking, oh my gosh, what is her name? The one robot who has been at certain, like, conventions and stuff where, honestly, same, yes. Where she's just up for display. Usually she looks very human-like, except for certain features are a bit more robotic in nature, but she has full-on conversations where she's generating, like, her AI essentially generates really human-like conversations with who she's talking to, where you can ask her anything, she'll like respond, and you can she'll even joke with you. And some of these things that we consider very human, in fact, can be at this point replicated by AI. And that's kind of crazy to think about. Because there's also the, like, fact of the matter is, okay, so unless you're in person, you can't trust that you're not talking to AI. Cool. So any kind of text-based conversation could be AI. Any kind of voice conversation could be AI. Not dying again. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm in person, I see the person in front of me, we're having a conversation. Great. They're not AI. But are they, right? So there's all these advancements to make robots look more human, right? So it's like, okay, is this person in front of me really a person? Then that becomes the question. Am I talking to a real person? And I think a bit of paranoia is good, because it's like the skepticism of situationally, like, is there a potential to be harmed here? Great, let's question our surroundings. Let's question who we're talking to and what we're talking about. Great. But then there's also, like, other implications of, like, social stigmas, right? Like, there's plenty of history around real life human beings not being treated equally, right? Treating inhumane, right? So then introduce AI into that, or humanoid, human-looking robots. It opens the door to a lot of harm in the way of someone even, like, questioning whether someone could be AI, to a reduction of their humanness, right? And, like, to do that to a real human can be really harmful. Both, obviously, to the person who's perpetrating, like, the like, situation, because they're, like, saying, like, oh, you might not be real, you're, like, a robot, right? Or something. great. Okay, so it could be harmful to them socially, but also like stigmatize that. Beyond that, you could be harming a real human by saying that they're not human, because that has a lot of historical basis in having actually happened prior to the production of robots and AI, right? So it's something that's also like part of the concern of this becoming more like prolific and seeing it in our day-to-day lives. And yeah, again, one of these are just the ramblings of someone who constantly has stuff on their mind. Let me see. I have 420 microplastics. Let me just go kill a bunch of other mini guys so I can at least get an upgrade today before having to sign off for the day. See, and this is why I like Black Mirror, because I see an episode on this kind of stuff and I'm like, oh gosh, the wheels in my head, they're turning. It gets me thinking, because sometimes you might not be aware of something until you're made aware of it, right? Like, of course you can think of something on your own, but like, it may not be within your purview, right? Your world experience to think about something. And so having that like stimuli, that input of like, hey, this is something that could happen, or given a little bit altering to our current reality, could become our reality. It really gets you thinking. And I find that kind of stuff super interesting. So Black Mirror, if you guys have liked what I've been talking about, by the way, I highly recommend Black Mirror. And then we had another recommendation for Love, Death, and Robots, I believe it was called, which is something I am definitely going to be checking out personally, but I have not seen it myself. So oh, what is this? This looks like a present. Oh, it's one of those like weights for like a balloon. Interesting. I might also off screen grind this game a bit more just to keep us from having to watch me die constantly for 2 hours every stream. But I won't make any story progression, promise. Was it, you said it was Love, Death, and Robots, correct? Maeve, Nuggetory Crunch. Where can we watch that? I think I've heard of that or seen it on Netflix, maybe? Do you know where the best place to watch that would be? Is this a White Claw? What is this? Ah! It's a claw seltzer. Okay. It's butter flavored? Garlic butter? What? Is that a real flavor? Oh, it's Fight Claw. Garlic butter flavored. Nice. Netflix. Oh, okay. Thank you, Chomper. Weren't you the one who first recommended the show to me? Oh, like a while back, I feel like at this point. You're probably excited. Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, also, if at any point you get, like, a commercial or an ad, use the, what is it called? 1 second. Use the reward, the one, what are these things called? They're not bits, they're, like, little, like, watching tokens. Mine are called wisps. The one wisp redemption reward for I've got an ad to let me know. So I will halt the conversation periodically to like make sure we're not missing people who are trying to be a part of discussions. Yeah, because I swear Twitch says it gives ads, but then when I ask people, they say they didn't get ads. Wisps. And then sometimes it says it's not giving an ad, but then people were like, oh, I just got an ad. See, like right now, like it did not say anything about an ad. So I feel like Twitch doesn't tell the creator what's actually going on properly. And it's a bit frustrating because they have these little pop-ups in chat like, oh, we're running an ad right now. And it's, no one ever has one. So I don't actually know when or if or why or how they're running ads. Thank you, yes. Okay, let me see. Yeah, right now my goal is to just beat up some more little guys, and then I'll grind a little bit off stream. So before we finish today, I'll do one upgrade. Yeah, because see, I'm already at 600. Oh, a tiny snail shell with a surprising affinity for umami. Plus 15% shell spell damage to res required. Oh, okay. Welp, I just wasted that. Oh, nice. I'm going to attach that. Can I? What do I need? Oh, does it not? Oh, okay. It looks like my star space is 3 and I have... okay, so I would have to do either this one or this one. So this one gives 3 vitality. This one gives shell spell damage. What is shell spell damage? I'll have to look this up more next time. I'll leave that for right now. It doesn't really do anything because I don't have a shell to speak of. Again, I'm still running around naked, but nonetheless. Weep whoop whoop. I need more enemies to destroy. Where are you? There we go. It's your lucky day, buddy. Because I need 860. Which also, for anyone who wasn't aware of this game before watching, it's a Souls-like game, which I've never played a Souls-like game before. So if you have any tips or tricks on how to progress or do things, obviously it's not going to be a one-for-one, but like I'm still figuring stuff out, so those would be greatly appreciated. Yeah, those are the guards that won't let me in. Because they said I have to put clothes on before I can go see the Countess. It's inappropriate. 700. I remember there being a lot of crabs down this way. Hi, buddy. Thank you. Bean. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Are there any other good shows you guys have been watching, by the way? I've been kind of on a Star Wars kick. So I've been watching all of the Star Wars universe in chronological order. So not release order, chronological order. And I'm up to, I just finished the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, TV show. That one was pretty good. I liked that. Oh my gosh, Bad Batch was before that, and that was so good. I was so upset though with some of the, no spoilers, for anyone who's listening. I'm not going to spoil anything. For some of the things that happened that later. Okay, so this is where the captain is, so I want to go back this way. End of season 2, I think. Worse. Oop, it sounds like Discord dropped me. Maybe. 1 second. Okay, that was weird. Okay, let me go back this way. What did you say? Delicious in Dutch. Oh, okay, yes. I've heard good things about that. Yes. Oh, who is this? Does he have a sword? Oh, he also has a comb. Hello, buddy. Are you, like, also... Oh, fuck. Heal. Oh, come on! You did not need help. And jump, and attack, and run. And jump. Oop, okay, get swept. Yep, that's me. Fuck! Fuck, I have to go get... Oh, I was so close. I have 815. I know where I was. But I have to avoid enemies because I can't die while I'm trying to get my stuff back. Yep. Avoid him. I've heard good things about that. That is on my watch list for sure. I think they have some really cool applications for like different ways to go about doing things in D&D, at least from what I've kind of seen, like memes of people talking about. Like I think it's that show where they put holy water in like a bottle and then like tie it with rope and swing it around to hit some of the undead, like the spirits, with the holy water without wasting the holy water, because the everything... Yes, okay. Yep, I haven't seen the show, but I've seen this. Because spirits phase through physical things, right? So they phase through the bottle, hit the holy water, get damaged by the holy water, and then they don't have to waste it by throwing it on them. I'm like, that's amazing. We can just apply that to like D&D, and there you go. Unlimited resource of holy water, as long as you don't break the bottle. I would be so down for that, like as a DM. I would 100% let players do something like that. Damn it, I died again. I think I'm gonna leave this guy alone. So I can wrap this up. Okay, good. Hopefully that wasn't like a spoiler or anything. I just know I had seen something about that on like some D&D thing. And I was like, oh, this is freaking amazing. Also, I think this is the same show, but they had like up the skirt shots of like the gnome guy. I was like, this is amazing. I appreciate them catering to various audiences. Fuck. I'm about to die again, and I'm not even trying to fight him. Yeah, because I just need 860. Okay, we're at 855. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Oh, hello, buddy. Yeah, because in a lot of animes, you get like the quote-unquote fan service of like girls wearing skirts and like different like up the skirt panty shots of that. And I was like, this is amazing to take that and flip it on its head by having the like burly like short dude have up the skirt shots. Oh, what is this? I found a little sitting place. I can ponder life in the great blue. This is awesome. I haven't found any other sitting places. This is nice. Okay, so can I run and jump over here? Oh, oh, oh. Nope. Not me just falling. Okay, they have a talk bubble. Maybe I can talk to them. Maybe I have to be up there, though. Okay, I'll go back. After I... Maybe we'll start with that next stream. I'll attempt to get to that guy's little castle talk bubble. Because I want to wrap this up right here so we can get our upgrade before I lose all my progress. See, this fish was already trying to kill me. Okay, let's level up. Okay, what do we think? I think attack is what I need. So I don't have to poke as many times. Because it seems like no matter what with the big guys, like the big bosses, I'm going to have to run, poke, run, poke, run, poke. Because I can't take too many hits. And it doesn't seem like the health goes up by much. Yeah, because even with 2 upgrades, I've got 2 more health than I started with. It goes up by 1 or 5. Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's... Maybe your sitting spot is a trampoline? Ooh, okay. That's a good point. I'm going to try that next time for sure, for sure. Okay, I'll try to jump on it. That will be my starting goal next stream. I'll grind on my own a little bit. Okay, so decrease the damage your shell takes. Yeah, I don't have a shell yet, so I don't think this does me much. Attack, yeah, that's what I think. I think attack for sure, because it will help with the poke. So let's do attack. And then hopefully I'll grind a little bit more before next stream so we can go fight all the bosses and get some clothes. Oh, and this sucks because every level it costs more and more. Because you see, if I accept this, it costs 1070, 1070. Oh. Okay, yep. I'm taking the attack. I'm taking the attack. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave that right there. Thank you so much, everyone who came and hang out during stream. It has been awesome talking to you guys. Wow, we really talked about so many things today, from AI to just vehicle safety, social implications of everything. This has been an awesome stream. I really love talking to you guys, so definitely try to come. Love you, Med. Love you too, guys. Come and hang out anytime you can. I will be streaming usually. For right now, I will let you know if things change. Saturdays and Wednesdays. The current series we are working on is Saturdays, Another Crab's Treasure. As you've seen, it's a bit grindy, but I'll do some of that off stream. And then Wednesdays, I think some of you guys were there on Wednesday too, for my first stream of this, but we are working through the Telltale series for The Walking Dead. I've never watched the show. I've, in passing, heard a little bit about the universe, but just that it has zombies, really. So it's all new to me, the universe and the game itself, so it's pretty fun to experience someone playing through it for the first time, I would say. So feel free to join me on Wednesdays and Saturdays, and if you'd like to make sure you're getting updates, because I know Twitch can be finicky, you can follow me here on Twitch, but you can also go ahead and join our Discord, where I will post updates about the schedule for the upcoming week, and that will be the first place I will notify everyone of any changes to the schedule, like today, where I had to push it back a little bit because of commute times and things. But nonetheless, thank you so much for joining, everybody, and I hope to see you guys around.